Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Dolupo, and I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. Today promises to be a very interesting one as we're going to be talking about quite a number of things. The ABC seems to have gained a lot of politicians today. They gained a governor, they gained the senator, and even House of Rep members. So it looks like it's raining members in the APC camp today. And sadly, they're all coming from one other party. So we're going to be looking at that today. President Tinubu is seeking for approval for the new INEC Chairman that had just been announced. Interesting news. ASUU and the federal government, there's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of conversations after, and a lot of reactions from other people right here. So those are part of the things we're going to be talking about today. Also, the conversation around presidential pardons and all that is still ongoing. We might get to touch on that. And the Super Eagles today have the last chance to either qualify or not, even though at this point, it's really not in their hands whether they win or not. But we shall have the conversation. My own books, at least, even if you will not qualify, don't let Benin Republic beat you at home. That's the least you can do for yourself, for your... Anyway, that and a lot of other things I think we're going to be talking about today at the bar. So sit back, relax, enjoy. If you're just joining us for the very first time, this is where we have politics, entertainment, sports, and everything else in between. And, you know, everything else in between can't be anything else in between. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. My name is Sola Rogers, you know, the one and only. And with me in the studio is Mr. Sola Rogers, SR, and Fola, just Fola.
Just Fola. Oh, thank you for remembering that. That was actually really nice.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
I appreciate your remembrance. Oh, you do not.
Oh, God. Anyway, let's get right into this. I don't know why I'm laughing though. Let's get right into this. First things first. At this point, before 2027 elections, is it safe to say that, I know that, yes, even the APC has said, that they don't want a one-party state. And of course, we know that defections are people's choices. You can't stop people from associating with whoever they want to associate with. But the way it's going, we're still in 2025. Before the end of 2026, are we sure we will still have a PDP or a Labour Party or any other party that have, it's not like as if they won't be there, but are there going to be any elected officials in any other party other than the APC with the trajectory of where things are going now? And so for people watching or listening, you might be wondering why I'm saying so. And it's because today alone, Governor of Enugu State, Peter Mbah, has now defected to the APC officially. I think even the Vice President, the Senate President, all welcomed him to the party, even though there's been conversations for weeks actually about his movement. It's official now. He's now an APC member. Also, just today alone, a senator from Bauchi State, I think the Bauchi governor even kind of made talked about it a few days ago, but the senator from Bauchi State had moved today, which I think now makes it 74 out of 109 senators that are from the APC. Also, you will think that I will end it, but three House of Rep members from Kaduna State in the House of Representatives also moved. In fact, the governor of Kaduna State was in the House to witness the defection. So it's official, not just that the ruling party probably has one of the highest numbers that we've seen in governors right now. They also have the majority. Literally, they have 2/3 or 3/4, more like 2/3 of the House in the Senate and even in the House of Representatives as we speak.
Just Fola.
I mean, this is something that is new. I think from the dawn of time and from the dawn of politics in Nigeria, the two main bodies in political parties, APC and PDP, they've always been exchanging members.
But so this one now, this
he hasn't even started talking. Let him.
No, I think that's what I'm gonna say.
No, I was gonna say that this exchange that you see is, would we call it more of an exchange? It looks like it's just one-sided. Like even from the Labour Party, from everybody seems to be moving. I'm not sure I have seen in the last couple of months anybody move from the APC. Okay, other than some other like elected officials from the APC to any other party.
They're the ruling party. Everybody wants to be on the winning side.
Okay, interesting times. You can call it Hurricane APC. You can call it Hurricane Tinubu. You will not be wrong. And this is pure politics. Has little to do with governance, but more of politics. I saw someone's tweet, and I kept it somewhere in my brain here. He said that the man in ASUU Rock was just chilling, and waiting for 2027, but that they had to go and look for his trouble. In the sense that when they started forming coalitions and they started talking about how they were going to kick him out, there was no talk of defections this much, right? But the instant they started consolidating, when I say they, I mean the people,
especially people that left the APC.
Yeah, and they all said, "Oh, we're going to kick him out.
And then he decided to show his hand.
We have all these people with us, and we're forming this party and that party, And of course, they had Atiku leave the PDP with his own movement. They had Peter Obi in a lot of meetings with them. He's still playing different sides, but is with them. El Rufai, immediate past governor of Kaduna. His son is an ASUU Reps member. And is still in the APC. He left the APC to the SDP, from the SDP to the ADC. And they all said, we're going to get this guy out. I think this is his response. That I do not underestimate you people, but don't underestimate me too. I'm going to fight with everything I have within the confines of the law. And there's a thing that's happening with a lot of politicians. They're saying something new for the first time. And what they are saying is that for the first time, the center has made it possible for the states and the local governments to get more funds. What that has done is that has now allowed the governors become more powerful. The local government chairmen are more powerful. People are now saying development in quote, like, oh, there's road construction going on. They're paying salaries on time. In the last 2 years, no state has been reported to be owing salaries. Now, the major workforce is the public sector. That's the most structured one. And if you're not owing that bulk of people money, it's a plus. A lot of other things come to bear. So I think that's what I think is playing out here. So for the governor of Enugu, he has come in quietly and he has been a big-time achiever. If you're looking for his strides in agriculture, in the entire Southeast, I don't think there's any governor that has done half of what he has done. In aviation, he started an airline. And I think they're about to add another 4 or 5, planes to their fleet. You get. In infrastructure, he's doing very, very well. Even better than some of the most hyped Southeast governors. You get. Peter Mbah has been a quiet achiever. When you have those type of people aligning politically, they see their own survival and the survival of their system that they have put in place. So, of course, Dolupo said a list of people, but she missed out a deputy governor. She missed out 20-something commissioners. She missed out...
A deputy governor? Which deputy
You said that the APC gained a governor, a senator, and 3...
Oh, in Enugu State.
In the last 24 hours. I'm saying that you missed out a deputy governor because some governors have crossed without their deputies. Anyway, the entire cabinet, all the commissioners, all the local government members, all the House of Assembly, the entire political office holders in Enugu State have crossed to the APC. What that also implies is that the APC has an internal structure where the governor is in charge of the state. So the existing APC structure in Enugu goes under him. Be you a minister or whatever, in that state now, he is the one in charge of the APC. So that also emboldens those governors to say, so I can actually, have my own way and all of that. This is 2027 playing out already. And of course, I think Tinubu knows that some moves are happening in some parts of Nigeria, and he's using all he can to show up what he might lose out from. You get? Because in taking some of the decisions he took, it made life really hard for a lot of people, and it has been politicized to a large extent. So again, it's been politicized to the point where even if he does something good, nobody talks about it. So it's all about, life is hard. But you see, the politicians are saying something different. One, they want survival. Two, they're getting more funds and allocations to do things that every appointed person or elected person will want to do. So Peter Mbah, I think, is a big blow to the PDP. They were planning a congress, they were planning a NEC meeting, and now it's been postponed. Now, in the case of the 3 federal lawmakers in Kaduna that crossed, during the last general elections, the APC lost almost all their seats there in Kaduna.
Yeah.
The PDP and Labour got seats. PDP got most of the seats. In fact, Atiku won the presidential election in Kaduna, and they had a sitting APC governor in El Rufai. Now, when Uba Sani now became governor, APC, he didn't have the majority of those people on his side. But in the last 2 years, is the instant that El Rufai left the APC, a lot of these people have joined.
Moved back.
So these 3 that joined today, right, can be counted as people who didn't like the APC majorly because of El Rufai. You can say that. And now that this guy has reached out to them, Uba Sani has been like a bridge builder of sorts. You notice that they don't have that much bad news coming out of Kaduna like they used to. So it seems like he's doing extra in that regard. And that's why on the floor of the House today, and even when he was leaving the assembly, he was virtually mobbed. Like everybody wanted to shake his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Even El Rufai's son.
That was
publicly, was with him.
And he has still refused to leave the APC.
Yeah. I have an explanation for that.
Okay.
It's just a theory, but I don't.
Let's hear it.
I think it's just physically in the APC. His dad is the one promoting ADC. Is that so? Him leaving now is him showing his cards too early. So I see him as one of 2 or 3 people who will definitely cross to the other side, because it will be very difficult for him, to stay in the APC while his dad is doing everything he can to bring the APC down.
But for someone that has, and it's not the first time, like the video that popped up today, the governor, he has always said, is basically like his godfather.
What I've said supersedes what you just said now. What I've said is that it will be too early for him to show his hand. Whether Uba Sani is his political godfather or not does not matter. This is his biological father, who is saying that I am going to remove Tinubu, and you are in Tinubu's party. And there are no elections coming up yet anyway. So it will be very smart if he doesn't make any move now and just stay back in the APC. But when the time comes, I see him as one. I see him actually as one of the people who will cross, and he has to. I hope he proves me wrong. I don't even care if he proves me wrong or not. It's politics. But I'm saying that it's a strategic move to not, because your father has jumped, you jump. You get. Again, he can even play the role of a mole. You're like, okay, this is what they're planning and all of that. I know what's going on. Blah 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 blah. So even the APC, there'll be some things that
they probably
will not
be very careful with someone like him. Okay, I get your point.
So it's all politics at the end of the day, and it's even better that he went publicly, to hang out with the governor for a few seconds or a few minutes. It's good. It's eye candy, but it's all politics. But I'm saying behind the scenes, you will know that this is his father's son. If not for anything, for the love that he has for his father, he loves his dad a lot. it will cross. You get, so I don't say that. And again, it might be irrelevant and inconsequential at the end of the day, because what they might lose in votes, they've already gotten in advance. Like if they lose his own federal seat, even during elections now, if it defeats an APC candidate, when he goes to the other side,
it might not.
They have already showed so up much with the new guys that have joined them.
Okay, I get your point.
And
interesting.
Samaila, what's his name? The senator that's crossed in
Bauchi State.
The governor of Bauchi is one of the top PDP guys, and he is the most vocal and one of the heaviest critics of Bola Tinubu. But some people say that it's all politics still. That, okay, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that I agree with you, because if you look at the trajectory of things, maybe in the last 1 year, we saw how people that were really, really opposing the president, or even before he came in as the president, are now his aides.
So people are saying that even the governor of Bauchi, that as a Sunday was still critical, and he had hinted that he heard that one of his senators
I
was
think I
leaving.
saw that video.
48 hours after, the senator has crossed and the senator that crossed is not a small fry. If you go look him up in Bauchi State, he's one of the strong, PDP members there, and he's left. And you see, the excuse that they always give is even now more tenable, because you must be able to prove that things are not well with the party that you are leaving. And you can't tell me that things are. Look at the PDP from head to toe. You can't tell me that things are well with them.
Well with them, yeah.
So the sad part is that within the next 1 month, at least another governor from the north will cross to the APC. Another PDP governor.
So this is my issue, and it's not my issue because really it's not my business. It's just gist. But I know that. And this is two sides that I have a question, and it's something that I said before. Like, I know that the APC keeps saying that they don't want a one-party state, but the way it's going, if everybody moves, which is we agree that is everybody's. I personally don't think. I know that some of the opposition say, "Oh, some people are being forced." I don't think that a grown person that is, especially that has won a whole state to be a governor, I don't think people like that can be forced to do what they don't want to do. I'm just saying, would it look good that most people have officially moved to your party? That's one side. Okay.
I think a lot of times we're being sentimental, and we're also falling into agenda speak, in quotes. Now, when Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria in 1999, and he was president for 8 years, the Southwest was predominantly dominated by the AD, the Alliance for Democracy.
Yeah, the first term.
And that's 6 governors. There are the few senators and a couple of House of Assembly members. Barely a year or two into their stay, here in Lagos, they lost 2 of their senators. There are 3 senators in Lagos. 2 of them, Obanikoro, and one other person that I forgot, crossed to the PDP. AD was left with 1 senator in Lagos, where Bola Tinubu was governor then. Then, by the re-election period, they went and signed some dumb deal with Obasanjo, and that's why Nigeria's elections are staggered the way it is. Presidential election first, before gubernatorial. As soon as Obasanjo won gubernatorial, he started a campaign saying he has no deal with the AD, and there was this movement. And guess what? That's why Bola Tinubu was referred to as the last man standing. The AD lost all their governors in the Southwest except Lagos. Bola Tinubu, 1 man, 1 governor. As at that time, out of 6, 5 became PDP. How come then nobody was saying one party state? 5 joined the existing PDP, was in charge of virtually the entire north.
I think at a point, I think there were 29 governors out of 36. Yeah.
29. You get, if you go to the southeast, it was PDP all through. If you go to the southwest, it was PDP all through. You get, except for Lagos. In the south, it was PDP. So they virtually dominated Lagos was one. I think only AMPP or something had
AMPP
5.
was in the north.
They had 5 or 6. Do you understand? How come nobody was talking about one party state then? And Obasanjo was there, PDP was leading. Do you get? But now that it is Tinubu and people are crossing to meet him, even before elections, they're saying one party. And he doesn't even have that many governors that Obasanjo had. Do you understand? These are facts. Yeah. This is beyond sentiment. This is numbers talking here. You get? That's 1. 2, constitutionally, you are allowed to join any association that you deem fit legally. Do you understand? And do you know that the party cannot stop you from joining them?
Yeah, they can't. Yeah,
they can. It's your right. It's against your right. If you wake up today now and say you want to join Labour Party cannot say we don't want just Fola. It is Fola that we want.
Seriously.
Do you understand? They cannot stop you. Where they can stop you is if you now join them and you go against the constitution of the party, and that is still contentious.
That's contestable. Yeah.
You can still take it to court. Do you get? So there is no way a governor says I want to join APC and the APC say don't come. They can't. That's the funny thing about what the law says.
So now another angle that I want to talk about is, and I know that a lot of people, and I remember that one of the major issues or major conversations at the 2023 elections was the idea of structure. I remember watching a video a few weeks ago and I'm like, this person makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you saw that video, but it's something that even on the bar where I talked about it over and over again. ADC as a party is saying that they want to take power, they want to wrestle power away from the APC. But with the situation on ground, we know that elections are won, especially presidential elections, is not won by one person. It's won by a whole group of people from local government chairman, from wards basically,
from polling
delivering
units.
Their polling units, delivering their wards, people that the president will probably might never see, delivering their wards, to House of Rep members winning their seats, to senators winning their constituencies, to governors winning their states, which all culminates into who wins the presidential election at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now, except maybe you are El Rufai Shah. Sorry about. Would it make any sense for you to lose your state as a governor or as a House of Rep member or as a senator? Is how, and like a lot of them lose that much, which will now make the president lose an election. Is it at the moment now, is it feasible that, except, or would I say from my own standpoint, except there is some major offset that the ADC wants to pull off, is it even looking like this opposition is going to bear any fruit?
Okay, Fola wanted to say, I see him shaking his head.
I was just saying no. I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay, let me say something about that. The funny thing about politics, again, Dolupo has already established it. We're talking about structures.
Yeah.
If you want to be president, it's not enough to say you have 14 million votes. So the votes have to be spread and they have to be in the right places.
Yeah.
Picture if, for instance, Eshoore had won the presidential elections, it would have been the worst president Nigeria has had, because he wouldn't have the assembly. He will not have the support of the assembly.
Why is almost even impossible is because those assembly members were with the same election. They're probably delivering.
It's politics. It's not impossible.
Okay, true.
It's not. They're not voting on the same ballot
paper. Okay.
People can decide and say, okay, this is the president we want.
Yeah. Okay.
And decide to vote another House of Rep person, because again, the reason why I picked Eshoore is the same way I could have picked a Peter Obi, but I won't pick an Atiku because Atiku had a proper structure. Obi had numbers, but he didn't have structures. And the reason why I'm saying that is that they didn't have people contesting every single seat in Labour. If they can prove that, they can also prove that they had agents in every single polling unit. Nigeria has over 300,000 polling units.
Polling units, yeah.
Did they have 300,000 people? They did not. I'm not saying to
And
vote.
those people will not vote.
I'm talking about agents here. You understand? So, and you need at least 2 by PU. Do you get?
Yeah.
So you need almost 700,000 ad hoc people on election day. I'm not even talking logistics and the rest. So the structure I'm talking about goes beyond polling units. It's that even if you want to win an executive election, you also need to have sponsored. It doesn't have to be financial. To have I need you to run for Senate in your state. So that by the time you get to Senate, you'll be like, okay, we have 42 senators. Okay, not bad. Let's look for some friendly senators in other parties so that we can pass a bill or 2. Because you can't do everything by fiat. You can't do everything by executive order.
You can't.
And that is one thing that Atiku has. That's one thing that Tinubu has.
Yeah.
It's obvious. It's glaring. You can see it over and over again.
Or would I say Atiku or the PDP?
Atiku had it. It was their candidate.
Had, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said had. You get.
Okay.
Now, in going to the ADC, they are saying they have that same thing too. Only just yesterday, a member of the APC, who is not an elected person, but he was campaign manager, I think, in Delta State for Buhari and all of that campaign, a member of the Buhari structure in Delta State, resigned from the APC yesterday, and it was put out by Loretta Onoche, who is a Buhari person. She worked with Buhari for 8 years. It was even always made her an INEC staff, but the candidate, our nomination was rejected by the House. She's somewhere in the UK now, but she's back in Nigeria and UK. She's working with the ADC, and she made a statement that they are doing a lot of work in the background, and they are virtually going to shock everybody. You get, and that this person she's mentioned now was campaign manager in Delta for Buhari. So she's saying that they have the Buhari structure on ground, and it's underground, and they are doing a lot of work. Maybe it's just fighting talk. Maybe it's real. We don't know because we're not members of their party.
Yeah.
You get. But that's what she said less than 24 hours ago. Again, also, I'm not that naive to think that people will just be making threats without making moves. The question is, will their moves be enough?
Be enough, yeah.
You get. So they are claiming that. That's why a lot of people started going to Pantami, the immediate past minister for
Communications,
ICT.
yeah.
You get, the ICT minister. People started going to him because they now have this presumption that he inherited Buhari's structure, which is not true. It is not. But guess what? Peter Obi went to meet with him. Guess what? Atiku. Guess what? Even the APC people have gone too. Do you understand? So they're trying to say, stay with us. Don't work with those people. Those ones are saying, come on, come and push people our way and everything. This, at some point, it was even public enemy number 1, Pantami, because some old videos emerged of him being a religious, extremist. The videos are still out there. So, but now, for political reasons, people are trying to align with him. You get. So, a lot of machinations are happening, but even the APC have been having several meetings with the Buhari structure. So there is a Buhari caucus, the CPC caucus in the APC, and some of them are leaning towards the ADC, because if you look at former ministers like the Attorney General, they're all. But people are also saying that these guys were not really core Buharists, that they might have been appointees, but they were not part of Buhari's movement from the get. Some of the people that even crossed are even people that Tinubu himself had nominated or had worked with Tinubu that now became Buhari people. If you look, for instance, Aregbesola is the secretary of the ADC.
Yeah.
Is a Tinubu person, or was a Tinubu person before he crossed. So all of this will come to play out. We don't know how strong they will be, or if it's just all hot hair.
Anyway, so we'll definitely follow that conversation. But before we leave the National Assembly has today now announced that are proposing November 2026 presidential and governorship elections. So according to them, we know that there is Electoral Act reforms going on. So what they're saying is that they want to move elections from the usual February, March of the same year back to November. So why they're saying this is because this is supposed to be 6 months before the new administration begins, so that when the elections are done, they're hoping that 6 months is enough for any form of litigation, and all litigation will be done before the new, whoever, if it's the incumbent or the new person for governors and the president, will be done before the new set of people or even the incumbent is sworn in again.
This is just a plan to destroy dirty December, and God no go agree for now.
But it's November, not December.
You don't know how they postpone election in Nigeria. When they tell you election is February 14, does it hold February 14?
But it only happened like during Jonathan's time. Now that's the only time they moved it. Yes. Now
they didn't postpone any election at the last window.
No,
they did not shift anything by a day or two or a week.
No.
Okay, I agree with you. I am wrong. I am wrong. I agree. No problem. I'm just saying, if it's November, let it be November. You people cannot come and spoil our dirty December. But back to real stories and brass tacks is the best thing to do, because we need time for people to say, I won, I don't agree with the result, go to court, do your thing, and there'll be enough time for swearing in. It's not that they would have sworn someone in, and they will now say you're still going to court. Then the court will now say he didn't win. He will now
and then
so it's not a bad idea, but it must be cast in stone also, that if it's November, it's November.
It's November.
Especially because of dirty December.
Seriously. Anyway, moving on from that, President Tinubu is seeking the Senate's confirmation of Professor Amupitan as INEC Chairman. Just wanted to put that out there. The INEC acting chairperson is also meeting with the heads of political parties today. Also, PDP has now postponed the 103rd NEC meeting again. I don't know why they did that, but
you don't know why they did that. I'm sure Fola knows why they did it.
Why would he know?
Am I in PDP?
I don't understand.
It's obvious now. They lost all these people today, and you expect them to be having meeting.
Why? That's the more reason why they should have meetings to know what's
about
way forward.
No. Everybody has to go and lick their wounds first in silence.
They can't lick
then
the
they can now
OTO. They will lick it together.
It could be a fractured. Look, if you know how politics works, actually, it could be a day of name calling, blame.
Maybe they should.
No.
Yeah.
No. Right now, what you need is a lot of reconciliation. You know the other people that are rumored that are about to leave. So what you need now is to drop everything you're doing and fly to that state in the north that the name starts with a. Well, the governor's name starts with a K. Anyway.
I hear that anybody that wants to leave in the next few weeks
you can understand.
has already planned it. Other one that's.
No, it doesn't matter. Maybe they have the power to convince you. Say, please don't go.
You can't stop what is inevitable.
Don't go.
You get my point? Like, take for example, this Peter Mbah gist has been going on for months. Let's be honest ourselves.
Don't go.
It was just the announcement people were waiting for. It has already. Why did they change his mind?
There are likely to be at least 2 more announcements in the southeast/south, and in the north.
And it's supposed to.
The northern one, I'm very sure.
Okay. Anyway, moving on from that quickly, let's come down to the gist of federal government and ASUU. Now, we know that yesterday ASUU had declared that they were going on a 2-week strike, that the federal government, they were not going to listen, blah, blah, blah. The Minister of Education had talked about how they had done everything. They had begged them. They've asked them to come back to the table, but they're hell-bent on going on their strike, which in my books, I feel that they too just want, the new ASUU chairman just wants to register his own that during my time too, I went on strike. That's the only thing. Anyway, the federal government also now came up and said that if you're going to go on strike, they are going to invoke the no work, no pay policy. Now, remember the other time that there was ASUU strike? There was another association that cut off ASUU. It's CONUA or something. That's the, I think, Organization of Nigerian Universities Academics or something. They are now saying that they are not involved in this strike and they are working. Now, moving on from that, NLC has now come out to say that the federal government cannot invoke no work, no pay policy. As what? Because you don't have the money. Anyway, They are now saying that if the federal government continues, that they might also be forced to go on strike. Is it just me? But NLC is just looking for an excuse to go on strike.
Fola, your thoughts on this?
Please go ahead.
I think NLC would. I think it looks that way. But my own thought is that has there been a year where ASUU hasn't gone on strike? First off.
Yeah, last year.
They've done like about 2 years. Yeah, they did.
Wow.
They've
It always
done about
feels
2
like
years.
they've gone on strike for at least one reason or the other. But my thought on this thing is the no work, no pay policy that the government is trying to impose on ASUU. I feel like it's unfair because it makes no sense in them trying to fight for what they actually deserve in the first place. You can't tell me that the workers in ASUU are not actually doing. They might not be doing it to the best, but they are doing their work. And
But you didn't come to work.
Why do you have a problem with his opinion?
I'm just saying. That's my opinion as well. Like, you don't come to work. Why do you get... Okay, so the federal government is saying that they've asked you to come... The monies that even the former administration did not pay. That 8-month strike, that I think the federal government, this administration has paid about 5 months already. And they're saying that this was money they didn't think they were ever going to get. Every other thing, they're saying that they have paid it. In fact, then I'll say, okay, come to the table. What else do you want? They are not even, they don't even want to have a conversation anymore. They are hell-bent on going on strike. Now, the federal government is saying that if no problem, if you decide to go on strike, you're not going to get paid for the time you didn't go to work.
Okay, let me...
I think that is fair.
Let me weigh in my own thoughts here. A functional country, an effectively run country, would render labor unions useless. They would become relics and a thing of the past. Labor unions are supposed to be fighting for the rights of workers. If I run my country well, you have nothing to fight for. You would have no work. And the future of Nigeria will be like that. They claim that they are fighting for workers, but a lot of times you see that they are not. They are not. Again, Nigerian Labour Congress says they will jump on this strike by ASUU. ASUU is a part of NLC. NLC, you have not gone to the states that are still not paying the minimum wage. If you are really fighting for workers, why is some states not paying that minimum wage? And some states have started increasing minimum wage to 100 and something. So I have established one thing, that you are not really fighting for workers. So again, like I said, picture a scenario where all 36 states, including Abuja, they are paying 200k minimum wage. Minimum wage. Who is NLC fighting for? Picture everybody has welfare.
Nigerian NLC, you don't think that they will find something?
That's what I'm saying. It's the same workers that will
they will find something.
Wait now. Wait.
To strike about.
I like what you did now. But I'm saying now, since it's just conjecture, right? If workers are getting everything that they deserve, and then some, NLC says, we want to fight. Oh yeah, okay, come fight for what? You need numbers. It's the workers that will say, oh yeah, we are going to hit the streets with you. To fight for what now? The fact that your wife said you cannot come into the room, or your neighbor said you can't park behind him. Do you understand? What exactly will be there to fight for? Do you get? I'm saying that there is a way things will be done, and these guys become relics. They become irrelevant.
But do you think that can actually happen in this country?
That time is coming. In my opinion, in my view,
I think that they're moving closer to that point
that
right
time
now.
is coming.
Because at this point, even if they're asking you, I watched an interview of the Minister of Education saying, okay, you have been invited, let's have a conversation. Okay, why are you not having a conversation if you want something? Do you understand? Place your demands on the ground, but it looks like you're hell-bent on just going on strike.
So
it don't make sense.
I don't think anyone actually knows what they want in terms of what would be the ideal
they just want to go
welfare.
on strike. They just want to go.
So
there
is a list of demands that they have. There's an agreement that they had with the Nigerian government. I think it was far back as 2009.
Yeah.
You know.
I remember that
2009.
strike. I was
So-
the other level.
So that particular thing is still one of the things that they are asking for. For instance, I don't want to believe that they said this, that why is the government giving loans to students, that they should give grants to students. I don't want to believe that they said it.
They did. They said that government should scrap NEL fund and that they should not give students loans. But in my head, I'm like, how many people want to collect grants?
So guess what?
Everybody gets
guess
loan.
what? So guess what? Guess what? Over 500,000 students have been activated or onboarded on NEL fund. Let us say all those 500,000 come from 250,000 homes. That it's 2 children per family, and it's just 250,000. Half of those kids, their parents are probably NLC members, but not ASUU necessarily. Do you understand? Because ASUU is a small part of the Labour Congress. So something that has relieved a lot of parents, or let's even look at the people that are not NLC members, people from the informal sector whose kids are now being onboarded.
No, they say is that they should
Do you
be
get-
giving them grants.
Do you
So
see
government
where I'm
be
going?
Giving you grants every
I'm
year.
saying that
year.
these
And
guys
what?
are not fighting for the people. And you see, when they were started, when they were created, they might have been doing that in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 50s,
when things were still
a
not
certain
as
kind of
bad.
way.
Yeah.
Do you get? But look, a lot of Nigerians are doing remote work now. A lot of Nigerians are doing creative work now. I am telling you that eventually this particular labor,
Become moribund.
they will become,
Yeah.
because what exactly are you fighting for? I'm not saying that if government is perfect. I'm saying that if you're truly fighting for government, let's start with the minimum wage.
I'm telling you, it's that NEL fund thing that actually went my mind was when I'm like, okay, so they should be giving you grants. Yes, I'm not saying that grants are bad, but how many people would actually have access to those grants?
But
Like,
the grants are coming. The grants will be increased. But at
It's
the
not
end
everybody.
of the day, it's like when you want to cook something or you want to make soup. There are several things that come together, to make a particular meal. So a student really needs their lecturers to be well paid. They need them to have fantastic welfare. I want to believe now that lecturers are not well paid in Nigeria. Also the military, I always get a chance to chip it in. They are not well paid. So focus on that. Get your salary increases and I get all of that. But why would you say students shouldn't get loans?
Anyway,
why would you not, focus on your
own
a lot of these problems are actually internal problems with the universities that they work at.
Anyway, the House of Representatives is now set to intervene. They said that they're going to have a conversation now with ASUU and the federal government to check this dispute and see if whatever happens, if there's going to be a solution to it as soon as possible. Anyway, the Nigerian army has neutralized 12 bandits in an attack in Katsina State. Also, Nigeria's oil output has fallen to 1.39 million barrels per day in September, according to OPEC. We know that.
Shout out to another union.
It's it was a lot of things. Remember, started from River State and the issue of Pengasan, and it was quite a number of things. So I'm guessing
the River State one did not even drop output, sadly, because it was quickly nipped in the bud.
Yeah.
The one, don't sugarcoat it, is this Pengasan.
So it's
shout out to you.
It's interesting, but now
well
at least,
done. Keep it up.
We hope that picks up again. Now, before we go quickly to a bit of sports, I wanted to have a conversation about the presidential pardon that the president, I think that was announced over the weekend. I think that was after the Council of State meeting. First things first, I also wanted to point out that when there's a presidential pardon like that, it's not just the president, it is the whole Council of State that approves those things. And this is the president, the vice president, all former heads of state and former president, the Senate president, the House of Rep members, the governors. It's all of them together. But apparently, it's always the president that everybody picks up on.
Fola?
Now, the conversation with it is that a lot of people on this president's list of pardon has been pretty much controversial. In fact, it is caused a lot of talk and a lot of rancor back and forth that there are people that the president should not have pardoned. But I also now wanted to put first thing, a parallel. I remember this conversation, I think it was 2022 as well, when former President Buhari had pardoned, I think it was the Council of State meeting as well. I remember former Governor Dariye and all that. Now, I'm not saying he's right, but it's a norm, apparently.
Okay.
Why are we going off on that?
Because of time, I want to jump in on this quickly. And I think this is one of the worst things that President Bola Tinubu has ever put his signature to. I think it's messed up. I think it's disgraceful. I think it's wrong. I think it's sad. I think it's all shades of negative. And this is what the opposition needs to build upon. The prerogative of mercy, the presidential pardon or whatever, the buck stops on his own table. Whether it's a collective decision or not, it is President Tinubu that has pardoned people. He didn't collate the list. I get that. But guess what? Going through the list of people that were pardoned, you will weep for this country. A kidnapper, a known kidnapper, hasn't even spent 90 or 80% of his sentence. You pardon him? His victims are still out there, still going through it. A man that is said, not alleged though, a man that has stolen weapons from the military to sell to bandits and criminals, you pardoned him. A woman that stabbed her husband in cold blood, made 3 different attempts to kill her husband in one night, eventually succeeded in killing him. You pardoned her? What happens to the family of the husband that was killed? And that particular woman's case, there were a lot of things that had happened before the thing finally made it to court. Abba. You see, I'm okay with the pardons on Herbert Macaulay because it was the colonizers that, called him a bad person. Wole Soyinka fought for the Southeast and he was jailed for it. Yeah, because he stood up for Biafra then. A lot of people that are on that list. In fact, even the Lawan guy, the former Speaker of the House, the one that put dollars in his cap or in his back pocket, was pardoned. I'm actually not even mad at that. But I'm talking about criminals, confirmed criminals, drug dealers.
I'm not saying this is right, but it seems to be like the norm every time.
The norm is bad. See, whatever norm that it is, whatever power that you have been given, it is a bad statement that you are sending. How do you expect the law enforcement guys to feel that someone that they just jailed barely 6 or 7 years ago has been pardoned?
I get your point.
You see, when you want to use the prerogative of mercy, if you want to pardon people, you look at, this guy has been on death row. Then you remove him from death row and give him life. You get, this one has been on life and he has spent 20-something years. You know what? Let's give him, another 2 years and he can walk. This one has been remorseful. We get, and so, but a lot of these guys were caught, committing very grievous crimes. So President Bola Tinubu has walked himself into a terrible tight corner. So how he gets out of this, I don't know.
Take for example, Atiku Abubakar has come out to say that what the president is doing is wrong, and and all that. And now I have a funny angle to that. And why I said that, yes, I know that the opposition are just going to jump at this. A few days before that, Atiku Abubakar went on and on about how Nnamdi Kanu needs to be released. If you don't have a problem with someone that is still facing treason offenses, if you don't have a problem with him being released, why do you have a problem with what the president did? And I'm not saying that what the president did is right or I think is right. I'm just saying that pick a side. If you think that people that...
He's not going to. It's politics. He's not going to pick a side. Anything that
like
makes...
make it make sense.
No, it doesn't have to. It's politics. Anything that makes the government of the day look bad is what he's going to jump on. And that's the truth. So guess what? Now, Nnamdi Kanu has not been convicted. So all the people that are even asking for pardon, it cannot happen. If he has been convicted by a court of law,
then we can...
then you can now talk about a pardon.
Yeah.
But he's been held and his case has not... They've told him to open his defense. So scratch that old stupidity and comparison that people are doing. Just scratch it, because man is held, but man has not been sentenced. So where's the talk of, oh, they should just let him walk? Seriously? Do you know the message you are sending to every other... Just like this pardon that President Tinubu has done. You are sending a message to people that, you know what, don't worry now. Maybe 3 or 4 years down the line, they will pardon you.
So, former Minister Dalong has also now demanded the release of Abba Kyari, saying that if the president can...
Well, the president opened that door. He opened it.
Okay. Anyway...
But sadly, I think Kyari has a case to answer.
Yeah, I think his case too has not...
It's still going to be extradited at some point.
I think the case has still not been... there's also not...
But the president opened that door.
A conversation.
He should find a way to
shut
it.
As well. Anyway, Venezuela shut down the embassy in Norway following the opposition leader's Nobel Award. Remember last week that we had talked about the opposition leader in Venezuela got Nobel Peace Prize. Now, they have now retaliated, shutting down their embassy in Norway.
Yeah, it's tit for tat now. Aura for aura. That's democracy at its finest, and that is diplomacy at its best.
Anyway, now football quickly before we go. Of course, the first conversation on everybody's lips is that today the Eagles are finally going to play their last World Cup qualifiers today in Uyo. Will they win or will they win or will they qualify? That's two different conversations now. It's one thing to win, it's another thing to win well, it's another thing to qualify, because your qualification, even if you win 5-0, is dependent on somebody else
on like also other countries
losing. So yeah,
everything is stacked up against the Super Eagles.
Yep.
From
it's always stacked up.
From struggling to beat Lesotho to their plane, having problems and they have to detour to Angola.
Yeah.
To arriving in Nigeria later than the
people you are hosting.
Everything is stacked up against them. The coach that they sacked, the one that used to qualify them easily for every tournament with matches to spare, is the one that is leading a group of Nigerians against them today. Now, they have stability, they have a team, they are on a roll. I'm talking about Benin Republic. While we are mentally in the doldrums. Sadly, we have a fine crop of players and
we don't have a team.
Yeah, we don't. And we've made every wrong move in the book. Every wrong move. Nigerian administrators, from Amaju Pinnick, under his tenure, we didn't qualify. To Guzo, his guy, we're not likely to qualify. It's going to be very hard for the Eagles to qualify. And it's not because they might not defeat Benin today. They might not, but they might. It is because they need favors from people who are seemingly neighbors. I'm rhyming. I'm rhyming neighbors and favors.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Please don't.
So South Africa will most likely win their game. So the first scenario I see is that Nigeria prevents Benin from going and ends up helping South Africa. That's the most likely scenario.
Yes.
You see, then all that talk of going by playoffs, dead that talk. There are teams that I think on that list you can't catch. Dead it. So
wow.
It's completely out of their hands. Now there's no Demola Lukman. I saw the anxiety in his face. He was angry. They were training yesterday and he was just watching them. You see the passion and everything. He can't play. So there are a lot of things. But guess what? If the Eagles go to that level that we expect them to, that do or die level, they would beat Benin. But my fear is that General knows our team. He was our coach for many years. I'm afraid that all they have to do is play negative football. Just wind down the clock. You get? So, but my thoughts and prayers are with them. And I've tried to block this game out of my life.
Your life.
I have tried because I don't need that pressure.
Oh, Lord. I honestly think that even if they would not qualify, I think this game is as important as they need it for their self-esteem. Why I said so is even if they don't qualify, they need to be able to beat Benin Republic.
Before you say something, Fola, I'm sorry. 5 draws is what we played.
Yeah.
Angola.
With who?
Angola is the only other country.
Rwanda,
like, can you imagine?
5 draws. Angola is the only other country that has 5 draws. They are not going.
Fola, go ahead.
I don't even know what to say. Every time it comes down to a qualifying stage, we always use mass.
Again.
Always use mass.
Be like me.
For us to qualify.
I do not watch Nigerian football.
I don't watch. But
no, don't let me say I don't watch Nigerian football. I don't watch Super Eagles. I watch tiring. Super Falcons. I do.
They are way better now.
Oh, I do.
They are way better.
I don't watch Super Eagles game because see, I'm a young girl. I cannot let Super Eagles increase my blood pressure. So I just zone out. Maybe the day after I go back to watch it. But I really feel that even if they do not qualify, which I don't think they would, but at times it almost seems like as if God is always on the side of the Super Eagles.
Do they even deserve to qualify?
Yes, that's another thing.
With all these draws,
very let's be honest, it will be unfair. I think that it's unfair on South Africa and Benin Republic that have done a lot more work, because now the only reason why this conversation is happening is because points were deducted from South Africa. That's the only reason why we are having this conversation at all.
They would be on top.
So I think that as much as I'm a Nigerian, it's also unfair for people that have done a lot more work not to get to that point and then Nigeria gets there. Another reason why I don't think they should go is that this basketball that I think they are playing, or will I say volleyball, because I don't think it's football that I think they are playing, is why you're going to go embarrass yourself.
Sean Dykes football. You're going 4-4-2 launching.
You are going to embarrass yourself and you will not pass group stage. So it's better you don't even go at all. Anyway, on another side, Cape Verde, which is another fantastic African country and is the second smallest nation in the world, has now qualified for the World Cup for the very first time. See people that are going to the World Cup.
Who is from Cape Verde?
Exactly my point.
Who is from Cape Verde?
I know it's not about size, but it's just like saying that. It's just like saying that Victoria Island has qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah, and here we are, the most populous black nation in the world.
I think the saddest part is our group isn't even the toughest.
It isn't.
South Africa, Benin Republic, Lesotho, Rwanda, Zimbabwe. These are not countries that have still as many stellar players as Nigeria. None
actually. I can say categorically.
I can't mention one South African player that I know.
Anyway, you people that are going to watch it, you can watch it. I think it's this evening. What time is it, Seth? What time is the game?
I don't know.
Are you serious?
I'm not watching with you.
Don't be like that.
A lot of people are going to be watching 2 games at the same time.
You will just increase your blood pressure.
Yeah, because the thing is, even if you score 500 goals and South Africa does not drop
any
point.
Oh, it's 5 p.m. So it's pretty much in an hour.
Yeah. Mr. Oshawadi also watch it here.
I'm not watching it. I have work to do. I have plenty work to do.
You
at the same time as well, South Africa and Rwanda is also going to play at 5 p.m. as well. Wow.
And it's Rwanda that we want to do a favor. You want Rwanda to do us a favor.
That's a very nail-biting, interesting game. Anyway, on that note, that is all we'll take today on the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time. Have a beautiful... by tomorrow, at least, we'll be able to determine if Nigeria is going or not.
Or not.